Imagine your own sibling lying about you, making everyone believe you're the villain, while they hide their darkest secret. That's what my sister did to me, until the truth exploded, and it destroyed everything. I never thought my own sister would destroy my life with just a few lies. But that's exactly what happened. It started so small, so innocent looking, that I didn't even realize I was walking into a trap. If I could turn back time, I'd scream at myself to run before it was too late. But back then, I believed family always had your back. I thought my sister Anna was the one person in the world who would never betray me. I was wrong, so painfully wrong. Anna and I grew up close. She was 2 years older than me, the responsible one. The one who always got praised for being smart, mature, and independent. I was the dreamer, the one who made mistakes, the one who needed guidance. At least that's how our parents described us. But despite the labels, Anna and I were tight. We shared secrets, helped each other sneak out of the house, even covered for each other when things went wrong. She was my role model, and I was proud of her. When Anna got married, I honestly thought she had it all. A stable husband, a nice apartment, and a life that seemed way ahead of mine. I was happy for her. Really, I was. So when she asked me to help her out with little things, babysitting her kid, running errands, helping around their place, I didn't think twice. She was my sister. Of course, I'd help. That's where everything started to spiral. Anna's husband, Mark, was complicated. He wasn't cruel exactly, but he was strict. The kind of man who wanted everything in order, who hated surprises, who thought discipline solved all problems. At first, he seemed to tolerate me, maybe even like me. I made him laugh sometimes, and he appreciated that I helped Anna with the baby. But then there were little comments, little looks. "Don't you think you're here too much?" he asked once. Or, "Shouldn't you focus on your own life instead of hanging around ours?" I brushed it off. Mark was protective of his space. I got that. I didn't want to intrude. But Anna always reassured me. "Don't listen to him," she'd whisper. "He gets moody. I need you here. Please, just ignore him." And because I trusted her, I did. One evening I was at their place, feeding the baby while Anna cooked. Mark came home, clearly stressed from work. He saw me sitting there, holding his daughter, and his face tightened. Again he muttered under his breath. I wanted to disappear, but Anna jumped in. "Don't start, Mark. He's helping me. You should be grateful." Mark didn't reply. He just stared at me, his jaw clenched. That night, I went home with a knot in my chest. Something was off, something I couldn't name. Weeks went by, and then Anna started asking me for bigger favors. "Can you stay over this weekend? Mark's away on business, and I don't want to be alone." Or, "Can you pick up my card from the bank? I'll give you my PIN." I didn't think much of it. She was my sister. If she needed me, I was there. But I didn't realize she was building a story, a narrative, one that would turn her husband against me. The first sign came when Mark confronted me. He cornered me in the hallway one day and said, "Anna told me you've been careless with money, that you borrowed from her and haven't paid her back. Is that true?" I froze. "What? No, I never borrowed money from her." His eyes narrowed. "She said you did. Said you've been taking advantage of her kindness." I laughed nervously, waiting for the punchline. But Mark wasn't joking. My chest tightened. "I swear, Mark, that's not true. I'd never do that to her." He just shook his head and walked away, muttering, "Family, always a mess." That night, I called Anna. "Why would you tell Mark I borrowed money from you? You know that's not true." There was a pause, then a sigh. "I only said it to make him stop complaining about you being around so much. I thought if I told him you owed me, he'd understand why you're always here. I didn't think he'd bring it up." I was stunned. "So you lied? It's not a big deal," she snapped. "Don't be so dramatic. I did it to protect you." "Protect me," that's what she said. But it didn't feel like protection. It felt like the first crack in something I didn't know was breaking. Things only got worse. Soon, Mark began treating me differently. He didn't laugh at my jokes anymore. He didn't thank me for helping. Instead, he watched me, like he was waiting for me to slip up. Then one evening, as I was leaving, I overheard them fighting. "He's always here, Anna. Don't you see how inappropriate this looks? He's my brother. He helps me. Or maybe he's just using you. Maybe he enjoys making me look like a fool." I froze by the door. I wanted to walk in to defend myself, but I knew it would only make things worse. The lies kept growing. Mark confronted me again, this time about the baby. "Anna told me you left her unattended, that you nearly let her fall off the couch. Do you realize how dangerous that is?" My stomach dropped. "I never, Mark. I'd never do that. I love your daughter." But his face was stone. "You're careless, and I won't forgive you if something happens." I called Anna again, furious. "Why are you telling him these things? You know they're not true." Her voice was calm, almost cold. "Relax. He needs someone to blame when he's angry. Better it's you than me." That's when it hit me. She wasn't lying by accident. She wasn't doing it to protect me. She was using me. I was her shield. And Mark believed every word. Over the next weeks, things spiraled. Mark stopped letting me come over unless he was home. He refused to let me babysit. When family gathered, he made subtle digs at me. "Maybe don't trust him with money." Or, "We all know he's not exactly responsible." Our relatives laughed awkwardly, thinking he was joking. But I knew where it came from: Anna's lies. I tried confronting her again, begging her to stop. But she just rolled her eyes. "You're too sensitive. Stop making everything about you." And that's when I realized she wasn't going to stop. The breaking point came one Saturday evening. I was at a family dinner, my parents, Anna, Mark, the baby, and me. Things were tense but manageable. Then, out of nowhere, Mark slammed his glass down and glared at me. "Why don't you just admit it? Admit you've been talking badly about me behind my back." I blinked, stunned. "What? I haven't." "Anna told me everything." He cut me off. "She said you warned her to leave me, that you think I'm a terrible husband." The room went silent. My parents' eyes widened. I looked at Anna, desperate for her to defend me, to tell the truth. But she just sat there, her expression unreadable. And then she nodded. "That's what he said, Mark. Don't let him deny it now." My chest caved in. She had just destroyed me in front of everyone. I stammered, trying to defend myself, but Mark's face was red with anger. My parents looked ashamed, disappointed. And Anna? She just sat there, letting it all burn. That night I went home shaking. My family thought I was a liar, a manipulator, someone who wanted to ruin my sister's marriage. All because of her lies. And the worst part? I didn't even know why. Why would my own sister want to ruin me? But the truth was darker than I could imagine. I barely slept that night after the family dinner. My own sister had just looked me in the eyes and told a lie so convincing, so cold, that even my parents believed her. I kept replaying the scene in my head. Mark's anger, my parents' silence, Anna's calm betrayal. It felt like I'd been erased, like my whole identity had been rewritten by her words. But the question gnawed at me. Why? Why would she want to destroy me? Over the next week, I avoided Anna's house completely. I ignored her texts. Mark didn't call, of course. And my parents? They gave me the silent treatment too. They didn't yell, didn't confront me, they just withdrew. And honestly, that hurt even more. I felt like I was drifting alone in a sea of suspicion, with no one to cling to. Until something happened that finally cracked open the truth. It was a random Tuesday evening. My phone buzzed with a message from a number I didn't recognize. "You don't know me, but I think you should." At first, I thought it was a scam. But then another message popped up. "I'm a friend of Anna's. I know what she's been saying about you. And I know why." My heart slammed against my ribs. I typed back instantly. "Who are you? What do you mean?" The reply came almost immediately. Meet me tomorrow at the cafe on Oak Street, 6 p.m., if you want the truth. I should have been suspicious. I should have ignored it. But desperation has a way of blinding you. The next evening, I walked into that cafe, my stomach in knots. A woman in her 30s waved me over. She looked nervous, like she was about to confess a crime. "You're Anna's brother, right?" she asked. "Yes, who are you?" "My name's Claire. I used to work with Anna. We were close, until I figured out who she really was." Her hands trembled as she sipped her coffee. "Listen, I don't want to scare you, but your sister. She's been lying about you because she has to. She's hiding something from her husband. And if the truth comes out, she'll lose everything. So she made you the scapegoat." My chest tightened. "Hiding what?" Claire hesitated, then leaned closer. "She's been having an affair, for months, with a guy from work. Mark has no idea, but she's terrified he'll find out. So she keeps feeding him lies about you. So if he hears rumors, he'll blame you instead of suspecting her." The world seemed to tilt. My mind went blank. An affair? That was the secret? It all made sense now. The strange lies, the manipulation. Why she didn't care if I looked bad, as long as she looked innocent. I sat there in shock, staring at Claire. She nodded slowly. "I thought you should know. You're not crazy. She's the one destroying you, because she doesn't want her perfect little world to fall apart." That night, I couldn't stop shaking. My sister had set me up to take the fall for her betrayal. She was so desperate to keep Mark from suspecting her that she sacrificed me, her own brother. I knew I couldn't stay silent anymore. I had to fight back. But how? The opportunity came faster than I expected. A week later, Anna invited me over. At first, I thought it was some twisted trap, but her message was unusually sweet. "Come for dinner, let's talk. I don't want us to fight." Part of me wanted to ignore it, but another part, the part that still hoped for answers, went. When I arrived, Mark was there too. He looked at me with thinly veiled contempt, but he didn't say much. Dinner was tense, awkward, the kind of silence that feels like it's screaming. And then Anna said, "So have you told anyone what you supposedly overheard?" Her tone was mocking, sharp. I froze. Did she know I'd met Claire? I played dumb. "What do you mean?" She smiled coldly. "Don't play games. I know people talk. I just want to make sure you're not spreading lies about me. You wouldn't want to make things worse for yourself, right?" Mark's eyes darted between us. He was listening. That's when I realized, if I wanted the truth out, this was my chance. I leaned forward, my voice steady. "Anna, I'm not the one lying here. You are. You've been lying to Mark for months. About me, about yourself, about everything." Her smile faltered. "Excuse me?" I took a deep breath. "You told him I stole money. I didn't. You told him I endangered your daughter. I never did. And you told him I wanted you to leave him. That's a lie. But do you know what's not a lie? The affair you've been having behind his back." The room went silent. Mark's face drained of color. "What did you just say?" Anna's chair screeched as she stood up. "He's making it up. He's jealous. He's trying to ruin us." But her eyes gave her away. Mark stood trembling with rage. "Is it true?" he demanded. "Answer me, Anna. Is it true?" She stammered, her face red, her voice shaking. "It was nothing. It didn't mean anything. But that was enough. The truth was out." Mark exploded. He yelled, cursed, slammed his fist against the table. Their daughter started crying in the other room. And Anna? She crumbled. She tried to blame me again, tried to twist it, but Mark wasn't listening anymore. For once, the lies didn't work. I left their house that night with my heart pounding. It should have felt like victory. I should have felt vindicated, but all I felt was empty. Because the truth hadn't repaired anything. It had only broken things further. In the weeks that followed, everything unraveled. Mark moved out temporarily, taking the baby with him. He barely spoke to Anna except through lawyers. Word spread in the family. Suddenly, all those little doubts about me faded, replaced with whispers about her. My parents were furious, not at me, at Anna, for lying, for dragging me through the mud, for shaming the family. Anna, meanwhile, shut down. She refused to talk to me, blamed me for ruining her marriage, even though it was her own actions that had destroyed it. And me? I thought I'd feel relieved. But instead, I felt broken, because no matter what she did, she was still my sister. I didn't want her life destroyed. I just wanted my name cleared. But some damage can't be undone. One night, I got a text from her, just one line. "I hope you're happy. You've taken everything from me." I stared at the screen for a long time. Then I typed back, "No, Anna, you took it from yourself. I just refuse to let you take me down with you." She never replied. Months have passed now. Mark filed for divorce. He has custody of the baby. Anna moved back in with our parents, but things are icy. Our family dinners are awkward, filled with tension and silence. And my relationship with her? Practically non-existent. I don't know if we'll ever speak again. But here's what I learned. Lies don't just hurt the people they target. They poison everything around them. They rot trust, love, family until nothing is left but ashes. I loved my sister. I trusted her. And she chose to burn that trust to protect herself. I survived, but our relationship didn't. Sometimes, late at night, I think back to when we were kids, to when I believed she'd always protect me, that we were a team against the world. And then I remember her calm face at that dinner table, nodding as she destroyed me with a lie. That's when I realized some wounds never heal. But at least now, I know the truth. And I'll never let her lies define me again.